homeless is now a violation of the law. Yeah, you heard me right. It is now illegal to be homeless in the United States of America, thanks to Trump and his new executive order that he just put into law. The National Guards and police are now hitting grounds and sweeping up those that are homeless, taking them to homeless shelters, treatment centers, and or jail. Can't even be homeless no more. I don't want to talk too much. I want the video to speak for itself. Family, you already know what to do. And if you're brand new too, thumbs up this video so YouTube can push this content out. Smash subscribe to join the tribe and ring the post notification bell as well. All right, let's get into it.
So the Orange Powder Puff Man is at it again. Orange Powder Puff Man basically is telling all the homeless people that are in DC to get off the streets, or else you'll possibly be arrested. Where are they to go? Here's a problem, and this is where morality needs to set in for a lot of people, including the MAGA base. I thought this was the president that was going to fix and help the homeless. I thought he would help, not arrest them, not put them behind bars. It's not for the homeless. It's not for the veterans, because 60% of the homeless people are veterans. What is he for? Who is he for? Maybe I know. He is for himself. The Orange Powder Puff girl is for himself. That's who he's out for. He doesn't care about nobody but himself. Here's another distraction, because he thinks we're going to stop talking about the fucking Epstein files. We're not fucking stopping. We want the fucking files.
Overnight, dozens of National Guard troops reporting for duty in D.C.
Good luck to you. Godspeed.
More than 100 newly activated members getting a pep talk from the Secretary of the Army before hitting the streets. Their first mission, patrol the National Mall and offer a presence at the city's iconic monuments. Rows of Hummers and camel-clad guardsmen were posted along the mall soon after. The scene, a stark contrast to the tourists and children strolling past.
This is a bit startling. This is like worse than January 6th.
White House officials say the troops are in position to assist local law enforcement and say clearing out homeless encampments is a top priority.
Homeless individuals will be given the option to leave their encampment, to be taken to a homeless shelter, to be offered addiction or mental health services, and if they refuse, they will be susceptible to fines or to jail time.
The Army says guardsmen will not carry weapons, but will have access to them.
What I'm focused on is the federal surge and how to make the most of the additional officer support that we have.
Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
For anybody that was unclear about where the homeless people in Washington, D.C. are going, we now know. They're putting them in jail. We heard Caroline Lovett say it. Watch this.
So homeless individuals will be given the option to leave their encampment, to be taken to a homeless shelter, to be offered addiction or mental health services, and if they refuse, they will be susceptible to fines or to jail time.
Now, please tell me, in what humane society do we do this? Like, I can understand trying to get them help with mental health issues. I can understand trying to get them to go to other places. However, if they're homeless, they most likely don't have any other place to go. So why would somebody who already has nothing, you're going to say, okay, well, let's just throw you in jail. Let's just give you a bunch of fines. That makes no sense. It worsens the situation they're already in. But y'all tell me what y'all think about all of this in the comments. I feel like this is just a way for them to hide something about society, something about the United States they just don't want people to see. It's easy to hide the fact that there's homelessness. It's a lot more difficult to actually tackle the issue and get to the root cause of why people are homeless, such as the affordability issue here in the United States of America. But like I said, y'all tell me what y'all think about all this in the comments. I'll see you on the next one. Also, don't forget to follow me. Check out my links in my bio, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
So the Orange Man did have a plan to end homelessness, but it's not what we thought. They're gonna end it by putting these people into institutions. If you're gonna give them help, okay, that's cool, if they are on drugs. But all of the people that are homeless are not drug addicts. You know, when I read the 2030 agenda, it said that the government would try to end homelessness. And I knew it was a catch to it. Everything in that agenda is worded as if it's something good, but it's actually something bad in disguise. They're gonna have to build more prisons for all of the homeless people that's gonna be locked up if they're gonna play it like that.
The Trump White House just put DC police under federal control and told the cities and House to take shelter or treatment bed or face fines and jail. The press secretary said it plainly. This sits on top of Trump's July 24th executive order that directs Department of Justice to fund encampment removals and push involuntary treatment or commitments, and tying federal help to compliance. This frames homelessness as disorder, not a housing problem. And it's enabled by last year's Supreme Court ruling letting cities criminalize sleeping outside, even when shelters are full. Why this is performative? Because it's not a solution. Jails are more expensive than housing and services and make re-entry harder by destroying IDs, meds, and stability. Crackdowns shuffle people block to block while the housing shortage remains. Experts warn these policies increase homelessness. They don't fix anything. What will be the real fix? Housing first, plus treatment on demand, plus income supports. Handcuffs don't create homes.
Yesterday, President Donald Trump signed an executive order declaring a crime emergency in Washington, D.C. Now, the goal here essentially is to protect public servants, citizens, tourists, and ensure the safe functioning of the federal government. So what does this practically look like? So essentially, the Metropolitan Police Department, they will be removing violent criminals as well as removing homeless encampments. So something important to note is that the Metropolitan Police Department, they're enforcing laws that already exist. These laws, they've just been ignored. So the D.C. Code 22-1307 and D.C. Municipal Regulation 24-100 give the Metropolitan Police Department the authority to take action when it comes to homeless encampments. So they can leave the encampment, they can be taken to homeless shelters, they will be offered addiction services or mental health services. Now, if they refuse, they can receive fines or jail time. Now, regarding the violent crimes, just last night alone, there's been 23 arrests. Some of those arrests, they included homicide, firearm offenses, possession with intent to distribute narcotics, lewd acts, stalking, DUIs, no permits, just to name a few. Now I'm going to read a few bullet points on whitehouse.gov, titled President Donald Trump Declares a Crime Emergency to Restore Safety in the District of Columbia. So it states, President Donald Trump promised his administration would take over the horribly run capital of our nation, Washington, D.C., and clean it up, renovate it, and rebuild our capital city so that it is no longer a nightmare of murder and crime, but rather it will become the most beautiful capital anywhere in the world. So here are some statistics regarding Washington's violence. Washington, D.C. has one of the highest robbery and murder rates among large U.S. cities nationwide, with the homicide rate exceeding 27 per 100,000 residents in 2024. Vehicle theft in the district is over 3 times the national average at 842.4 thefts per 100,000 residents, ranking it among the most dangerous cities globally. Rising violence endangers federal workers, hinders recruitment and retention of essential personnel, and undermines confidence in the United States as a secure nation. If our federal government cannot operate safely and effectively, it is a threat not just to the District of Columbia, but to the nation. So essentially the goal is to restore the nation's capital and have it not be a disgrace.
Right now it's just DC, but don't think that they won't do all 50 states. My opinion. You know, they always start with DC. This is where they do the trials and the test runs at. It's usually DC, New York, or Cali. That is where they trial everything and then they take it to each and every single state if it's successful. The thing to me is this right here. You do know there are people right now that are homeless that can't even get into shelters because there's no spaces, there's no availability. It's people that have been calling around trying to get into shelters and they can't. So now all of a sudden there are shelters for the homeless people. And this is another thing of my concern. The homeless shelters only allow you to lay your head there. When morning comes, you got to get out. So this is no real solution to homelessness. Those people still got to be out on the streets. So what's going to happen then? Then they're going to get locked up because they still out on the streets. It's a catch, I'm telling you. Mark my words. Mark my words. Y'all think y'all slick.
Wow, y'all. So people are officially starting to get arrested for being homeless now. It's only a couple states where homelessness is still legal. So at this point, they can start arresting people that they suspect to be homeless just for the crime of not being able to afford housing. So basically, other than Oregon and Wyoming, they're saying that housing, not handcuffs, is basically, like I said, they're starting to crack down on homeless people around the country. And if they suspect that you're homeless, from what I understand, they can arrest you. This is a new bill that's coming into action, so I want y'all to be aware of this. This is really, really crazy how nowadays, basically, you can't afford to live, and you can't even afford not to live on the streets. Like, it's crazy. So if you pitch a tent in certain places, or you put out, like a cot or a sleeping bag or something like that, shopping cart in certain places in the country, you are suspect to get arrested just because of those things. So like I said, this is crazy, y'all. This is getting bizarre. How people can barely afford rent, and now you can't even afford to be on the streets. At this point, where are we supposed to be?
The Trump administration is cracking down on people who are homeless. Entire encampments will be gone, people being forced into shelters or treatment programs that they didn't choose, and if they refuse, well, they go to jail. As a nurse who sees this firsthand that works in an ER, threatening people for being homeless and sending them to jail should not be the option, because rather, instead of sending money to commit genocides in behalf of my tax dollars, you could instead give homeless individuals an opportunity to be civilized members of society. Being poor, by the way, is not a crime. Being homeless, by the way, is not a crime. And as a nurse, I will tell you this. Punishment has never healed a patient, and it will never heal a community. This is not public safety. This is literally political theater. Crime is already at 30-year low in DC, yet they're targeting the most vulnerable instead of addressing the real causes: affordable housing, mental health care, and living wages.
Yeah, they don't want to provide real solutions that are useful. They don't want to actually give affordable housing out to the people that need it. They don't want to give vouchers or free housing even to those that have been on the streets for 2 years, 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years, and give them, a free house for 2 years, like they would do with the migrants. It was a budget for that. It was free food for them under Biden, if Kamala would got in there. But now all of a sudden, no budget for that. All of these savings that they're doing, but where's the money that you're so-called saving going? What problems are we actually tackling? In actuality, we're not saving anything. It's a bunch of lies. This one right here, you can't be homeless now. It's illegal. So this is how we solve it. Lock them up. Imagine being locked up because you broke. What type of world do we live in? You can't even fall off.
And people want 3 pops alone, Jesus. Oh,
what you got these people down here doing? Locking up homeless people.
Friend, now you know me, and you know I always piggyback off of your words because you are absolutely 100% right. But let me let me give you a little hope. Let me give you something to hold on to and feel good about. And trust me when I tell you, like, I honestly have been predicting this for a good little minute. Trust me when I tell you, I got you. Everything that he is doing right now is going to fail. And let me tell you why. Experience is the best teacher. So if we look in that man's past and we look at every venture he has undertaken, are any of them successful for real? Because I mean, allegedly, because I don't know what happened to Dutch Bank. I thought Dutch Bank was on his ass. Because we can talk about these Trump towers in other countries, but they are allegedly money laundering operations. Let's be clear about it. He's a criminal all the way across the board. That's number one. So to go out here and take over DC police, take over and send the National Guard out like he didn't do on January 6th, but told y'all swore up now he could do. He just showed y'all he wasn't going to call the National Guard on his people. He was not going to call the National Guard on his people. Now let's move on. Who will he call the National Guard on? Not his people. All right, do we have that understood? Okay, moving forward. because all of these smaller fires are starting to go off within his inner circle of people, like Marge, like JD Vance. I'm telling you, JD Vance is sitting somewhere like the ultimate opportunist, the ultimate backstabber, waiting on his opportunity to shove that 25th Amendment knife in his back. He's getting closer to it. He's getting closer to it. So when I say that none of his businesses have ever been successful, let's think about the Trump casino. Let's think about all of them. Like, his charities don't even work because they're stealing money from it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Crime has been down in DC for a good little minute, so doing this now is irrelevant. It's gonna blow back in his face. Mostly, I want to say 97% of the shit that he does always blows up in his face. So we just have to be patient. He is going to cross a line that he will not be able to step back over. Epstein was the beginning. He's going to monumentally fuck himself up real soon. It's feeling like my skin is prickling. It's coming soon. It's coming real soon. He's going to do something that is going to piss the world off collectively. More so than what we even have going on right now. I'm telling you, he's going to push a limit that somebody around him warned him not to push. And he's going to 10 toes plant with them swollen ass ankles on it. And it's going to be his undoing. The ground under that particular hill he want to stand on, it's not firm. It is quicksand. So listen, babe, I know it, and I feel you. I know it, and I feel you. You have old has-been actors becoming honorary members of ICE so they can have the joy of kicking out immigrants of an immigrant country. So when you point out how America was started by immigrants. Did we miss that? Did we miss that America was started by English people who did not like monarchies? They hate their history. While they're erasing our history, their history is still sitting there looking all fucked up. Black history is history because it's the history of what they did to my ancestors. So it's their history, but they hate it. They don't want you to know how nasty, evil, just under Satan's mattress they are. And they cloak it behind Christianity. It's cloaked behind, we're doing all this in the name of God. So at the end of the day, hold tight, babe. Hold tight. Black people continue to let them rub their noses in their own shit. Let them do it. And let us continue. Let's learn some new line dances. Hey, let's find some new shows to watch. Let's find something to occupy our time with joyful. Like, go look at movies of just black people joy. Just go to any TikTok. Go to TikTok. Black people joy. Black men frolicking. Bring that shit back. In your hoods where you know they're not going to show up until the very last minute. We are the last resort for them and just for the world in general, but on two separate, different sides. We're the last resort for them because until we're activated, they really have nothing to go on, so they're setting fires that they're hoping are going to burn close to us. Do you feel me? Do you feel me? They're setting off fires around us. Because if they actually come straight at us, like, you're proving us right, which we're proven right every day. There's a story that proves us right every day. But trust me when I tell you, the moment he crosses that last line, he ain't got too many lines left to cross. I promise you he don't. But when he crosses that last ultimate line, JD Vance is behind it. And now he has discontent amongst the people that were going so hard for him before. There's discontent. They're going to side with JD. But these are all people that are monumentally disliked by the American public as a whole. You know what I'm saying? They needed that face of the orange dude. They needed his face. But at that point, he's in there. We really don't need his face anymore. We're where we want to be. And everything from there is going to domino effect into pure, utter destruction, chaos. And then we'll have to come back out and fix shit like we always have. It's literally in the history books. Just go back and check it out. Black people have kept this country thriving for 400 plus years. And TikTok can try to strike this, but we know history. Those of us who know history and know that what I'm saying is an actual fact and not a fucking opinion.
The police are about to do a sweep to clean up the streets. I guess they said they're tired of the homeless people sleeping on them. It's turning into, what's this, North Korea? We got a dictator in office. It's about to be a dictatorship. That man did learn from Kim Jong-un. He took a page out of his book, maybe a whole chapter. He's slowly but surely showing his ways and what his plan is throughout his term to dismantle the whole country. People don't want to come to America anymore. Foreigners want to stay out. The citizens want to get out. A lot of them have already gotten out. Those that are still here probably have plans of getting out. This is not the great nation that it once was. What y'all think about this, fam? What y'all think about this? Hey, I appreciate y'all for watching. If you made it to the end, you know that I appreciate you. You know that I love you. To my Hebrew fam, shalom. I'll catch everybody on the next one.